Hey, how you doing? This is RJ. Today I am putting out a second video, and it is a review of number 1 of Project Superpowers by Dynamite. Now, I really love this book, and that's why I'm doing the second video today, because it came out last week on New Comic Book Day on Wednesday, and today is Wednesday again, and I'm putting it out there so that if you go in today to get your new comics, this one still might be on the shelf. You should pick this up. This is a great comic, to say the least. And I'm giving you some of the art here, and just look at this. This is the kind of art which should be a top-tier Marvel comic book today. But it's in Dynamite. Dynamite, although it's a fairly well-established company, it's still a very small company compared to the big two. I'm not the biggest fan of Dynamite in the world, just because I think that their whole idea of putting out multiple covers for things, and they put out a massive amount of multiple covers sometimes. Sometimes there's almost, last one I counted the most of was about 26 multiple covers for the same book. I think that's ridiculous, and I think that's disrespectful both to the comic buyers and to the comic shops. But that being said, they produce some really good books. This book right here is a book which is dealing with older heroes of, I would call it, I don't even know what the shared universe name for it is. I think of it as the Black Terror universe, because the main hero is the Black Terror. And it also has these other heroes like Masquerade, it has the Green Llama, it has Samson, it has the Death-Defying Devil, and these are just the ones that are in this comic here itself for Project Superheroes. Now these are all older comic heroes that are now in the public domain. And as I did a video just recently for crowdfunded comics, Antarctic Press is doing a crowdfund right now for the exact same heroes in its own book. So they're in the public domain, anybody can use them, and they are great heroes. This is a massive shared universe that these heroes are a part of, and they were created slightly after the first DC heroes were created in order to try to grab onto the superhero market that was starting to really develop under Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. But these heroes, like I said, they're in the public domain, so anybody can use them, but they have a massive amount of history for this shared universe. And there is a great number of these heroes as well. And the thing is that with this book, I'm giving you some of the art here in the background, and these heroes, I'm really loving this art, I gotta say. But these heroes, like I said, they have a massive amount of history. However, in this book itself, it gives you just enough so that you know what to expect from these heroes, and so that you can get into the action. Because this book starts off, bang, right into the action. It's got a few pages of introduction, and that's about it, and then the action starts. And that's the way a number 1 should be. This is what a number 1 should look like. Not that horrible The Life of Captain Marvel that came out, 2 weeks ago now. That is ridiculous. That is not a superhero book. This is a superhero book, and as I said, it gives you just enough. It gives you on most of the pages where it introduces the characters, it gives you the character's name, it gives you their power, and that is enough for you to just dip your toes into this universe in order to enjoy the action and enjoy this art, and see women that look like women and men that look like men and superheroes that act like superheroes. So, as I said, there is a massive amount of backstory to this, but you get all that you need just to start out here. But that also, for me, at the very least, is a draw, because as I had put out in one of my other videos talking about the fact that as a North American comic book buyer, you're kind of used to the fact that your comics through Marvel and DC have this massive amount of history, so much so that you expect it as part of your product. And this is a great way to sort of jump ahead in the line, and provide comic book heroes that no one really knows about today, but still have that history. And so if you want to go look up that history, you can. And hopefully, I really hope that someone starts to reproduce these comics. I know that you can get them online. I know that you can look at them online, but I am not a person who goes online to look for comics. I'm a person who wants a book in my hand. And I will buy reprints of things if they are stuff that I want to know about. Certainly if they're as well as, we'll say, inexpensive as they should be for reprints, because they're just reprinting something like Marvel is doing with this $1 reprints. If they could do stuff like this, I'm sure if Dynamite or Antarctic Press put out the same kind of things for these heroes, because both of those companies are using these heroes, I would buy those. That would be something on my list to buy every week. So, as I was saying earlier, they also have a great number of heroes in this shared universe. If someone was to produce a shared universe of these heroes and nothing else than these heroes, they would rival the book count of Marvel or DC. Because if every superhero in this shared universe had their own book, I could see easily, if I'm thinking back to how many heroes are in this book, I would say at least 40 heroes just that I could write down. If I had a piece of paper and a pencil. And, you know, that's the great thing about this shared universe. Again, that you have a history. So, this is certainly a buy if you hadn't got that from the first 5 seconds of me talking. I think that everyone should go and take a look at this, take a look for this in your comic book store. And one of the other great things about this, I find that these heroes were created as a sort of, we'll call it, I don't know, not a representation, but a copy, not really a copy. They're trying to copy Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and all those kinds of things. But the way that they are presented here, it sort of gives you just enough, again, just enough to see other heroes in these heroes, and yet just enough as well to know that they are their own separate heroes. Because you're looking at the Green Llama, and automatically what comes to mind to me would be the Spectre from DC, or Doctor Strange. He's a combination of the two. That's what the Green Llama is. I'm looking at Black Terror, and to me, he's a combination of Superman and Captain America. You're looking at Masquerade, who originally, I don't believe she had powers in the original universe, but the story of their return into the future, because they are all returned straight into the future from, I think it was the 40s or the late 40s in this series. And she has powers that really remind me of early Jean Grey sort of powers and the way that she dealt with them. You also have the Death-Defying Devil. He reminds me of the old 3D man who was a Marvel hero. And you have the Scarab, who is a cross between Hawkman and Blue Beetle. It's just, like I said, it gives you enough visual, it gives you enough cues so that you are already up and running with everything you need and are excited about this book. And I certainly am. And I certainly am going to be purchasing the next copy of this series. Now, just really quickly, I also wanted to mention there was another miniseries of Project Superheroes that was put out by Dynamite. I think it was 2016, but I'm not entirely sure, and you can't. I'm not someone who goes to the Dynamite site to find out these things, but I'm not entirely sure if that is continuity here with these ones as well. I do believe it is, but there is a chance that it may not be, just because I'm reading this book, and there's a part in this book where one of the main heroes, which is Masquerade, she has written a book which looks like the old series that Dynamite put out a couple of years ago. So maybe they're doing a little fudge of the backstory there. I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, so shorter video because this is great, and that's what I wanted to say. And I'm sure that if you've been here for the whole 8 minutes, you're kind of tired of me gushing over this book. All right, so if you found this helpful, hit like, hit subscribe, and share the link. Share the link so that anyone else who might want to pick up this book and would enjoy these kinds of heroes and this spectacular art and this Marvel level of a shared universe comic will go out there and get it, because it is a great book. I'm always saying make comics better by reading better comics. To me, this looks and feels like a better comic. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.